chilling on her cat tree in the dark, and she could just be sitting here. Okay. Yay! We finally have her set up. She wants to rip up the wrapper. Go ahead and do that, inshallah. We'll be studying. It's 2:40 p.m. I need to leave at 4 o'clock. So I have like an hour and 20 minutes to study. Not too bad. So welcome back, guys. Sorry about that. Ending the live stream very abruptly. I didn't even want to stop studying, but yeah, I just ended up doing more chores in the meantime and then praying the Dhuhr, and now we're ready, inshallah. So substitute with this with what we had for step 2, using the Cauchy-Riemann equation for f, integral f. So these were our substitutes, right? We found u and we found v, and these are the imaginary numbers. U are the real numbers, right? So we know it's imaginary because it's right next to I, right? So for the ones that are with I, we place them with the v's. The v substitutions that we get. Because look at this, we have u dy, right? But we want to substitute the u. There's two u's, but we substitute the v because that's imaginary. So that's how we get this equation here. And use the Cauchy-Riemann to rewrite imaginary part. So the imaginary part becomes vx dx and vy dy. So if we recognize the total differentials, then we get ux dv, not dv, dx, because this is dx, right? Over here, there's no dv, but ux dx, what is that in simple calculus? It's just du. And then ui dy is just dy. But we're looking at this part. Vx dx is dv. Actually, no, this whole thing is du. Du. Ux dx plus ui dy equals to just du. And then I times dx dx plus vy dy is just dv. So all in all, we get that fz dz equals du plus ibv equals to du plus iv equals to d capital F of z. So if we apply the fundamental theorem of line integrals from the contours which is step 5, and then step 6 right here. And then step 7 Yo, Benjamin Howard, welcome to the stream. How's it going? I feel like you're new here. Pixie does not want to stay on the stream, bro. Pixie, you're too tired. Just go to sleep, bro. Dang, she didn't want pets. So yeah. So step number 7, we for any contour C from Z0 Z0 to Z1, we have this. But we don't write that, right? It's just arbitrary. So we're talking any contour. We have just C here, and then df of Z equals to f Z1 minus f Z0. So these are the 7 steps to doing this proof here. Hello, Blake Hetchenhand. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? So we're done using fundamental theorem of complex calculus. Not using, but like proving. So yeah. I don't know. It's just Blake, but thank you. Okay. Alright, Blake. Really stupid. You can pet that dog. Go for it. Okay, so I'm so anxious for this exam though, for real. Like, I did the different definitions, the proofs, and now we have to start practicing how to apply the appropriate tests. Cauchy test, ratio test, Cauchy-Hadamard formula for the root test, ratio test, and CHF. Right. So definitions were done, and that dog left. Are you kidding me? Why does she even want to leave, bro? She's literally digging the carpet for me. You're literally sleeping. I don't want to keep putting you up here until you're done. Just sit down. Good girl. Good. She's too active. I love your videos. Thank you, Blake. Is this your first time here or what? We have 3 nice colors here. I'm gonna use blue for the definitions. I think it's blue. It looks like green a little bit too. Pixie, don't eat that, please. Pixie. See this playing, right? So, going over the definitions, we have exponent z. It's not that, I don't know, it's kind of light, but if z is x plus iy, we have the exponent z equal to the exponent x e to the x cosine plus I sine y. Right? So our second definition is like multivariate log z, so it's like lowercase. For z is not equal to 0, we have ln z plus I times argument z plus 2 pi k, where k is in the integers. And the principal log is single valued ln z plus I times the principal argument z, where the domain is the negative real axis. This is the thing. We have sine z, cosine z, and it looks really similar except for sine z, we have the imaginary iota right here on the denominator with 2, and it's a negative sign. But for cosine, we have it's just half times e to the iz plus e to the negative iz. It's pretty easy to remember, right? Just e to the iz, negative e to the iz, negative plus. And then s z to the s power is exponent s log z. No, Pixie, go back. Go back. No, don't do it. Don't go. Please. You know what? Go. You're free. We don't need Pixie. Look at the big boy. There we go. Okay. Let's continue, inshallah. So, we're done with the definitions part. Just let's minor recap. As for the proofs, we have to prove the differentiability of log z. So, first step, we put it in polar coordinates, right? Step 1. And then we replace it. Log z goes from this to this. We have the imaginary and the real part. So it's kind of step 2 here, right? And then we specify that. And then we use the polar Cauchy-Riemann equation, which is this whole thing. So that's number 3. Step number 3. And then step 4 is just find the partial derivative of u to the r and then u to the theta, r and theta, right? Because this is what we have originally, and the partial derivative is of each one, the derivative of each set. So I have ur, u theta, vr, v theta, and then we just plug it in to our equation here, ir times v theta, giving us ur. And then we check for whether we get our answers compared to our partial derivatives or not. It's pretty simple. You find the partial derivatives of ur looking at this. Let's say we have ln r, right? So what is ur? It's just ln, right? You know, it's just 1 over r. Hold on. Yeah, so we're doing the derivative of ln r is just, what is the derivative of ln is 1 over x. And what is the x here is r. So it's just 1 over r. So that's what we get here. And then for theta, vr, there's no r, so it becomes 0. It's a constant then. And v theta becomes a 1. U theta, right here, there's no theta, so it becomes 0 because it's constant. So that works out, that checks out, we match it, and then we do the same for our derivatives, which the derivative is supposed to be just given. We're supposed to remember that. So it's pretty simple as well. It's e to the negative I theta for log of z of ur plus ivr. Well, the u looks like a v, so just gotta make that clear there. So the f of z looks like this. The derivative looks like just e to the negative I theta. And that. This is the polar form. Of the derivative, right? But they're not going to give you the polar form. You're supposed to remember that. The polar form they're going to give you is just d over dz of the principal log z equals to 1 over z. So we're going to substitute what we got for ur and vr from our previous proof for proving the differentiability of log z, and then we're going to substitute that over here, and then we get e to the negative I theta with our given formula that we're supposed to remember, and then substitute that, and then we get this. And with that, we remember the polar thing. The polar form of z is r e to the I theta. And then if we check with 1 over z, then we realize it's the same thing as what we got when we plugged in our substituted values for this formula here that we got. And that proves the differentiability and the derivative of this. I'm back, yeah. Yo, David Bjorn, welcome back to the stream. How's it going? And Mew Draws, welcome back as well. Only those equations are scary. I know, they're so scary, bro. Just look at Yuki. Don't look at the equations. Just study alongside for your own things. So it's not too scary. But I get it though. I'm so anxious doing these things. I'm trying to make it make sense to me, you know? So here's the proof for fundamental theorem of complex calculus. So this is what we're trying to prove, right? The way they're going to ask is saying, prove this. I'm just going to give you this equation and tell you to prove it. So step 1, what you want to do is put f of z, the lowercase one, in the real form. Is u to the xy and iv to the xy. And then do the same for the capital F. So, alright, so you just put those two. And then you say, since f prime z, capital F prime z, is equal to lowercase f of z, because f here is the integral, right? Then we rewrite it like this. F prime z, capital Ux plus capital I, capital V, is just regular u plus iv. So then we use the Cauchy-Riemann equation for f, which is this whole formula here. Ux equals Vy and Uy equals negative Vx. And we get this. And then we plug it in. Since dz equals dx plus I dy, then f of dz is, what is f of z? It's u plus iy, right? U plus iv right here. U plus iv. This xy part, we don't put that part, just to make it clear. And then for dz, the dz part is just dx plus I dy, right? Remember? So we can put that here. So it's a little hard to remember, but it makes sense. It's not gonna be so easy to remember. That's why you gotta rewrite it and do active recall to keep it in your head. And you distribute, right? Substitute with step 2. Step 2 was what we got from the Cauchy-Riemann equations. And then after distributing, we substitute it here. And then we put the like terms together. And then we substitute that here. We get du plus idv, which is this, which is d of fz. And that fits for our definition here that we got initially. We're gonna need to study that a lot though. It makes sense, but I think it's very easy to leave my head. I changed my name. I'm the baby guy. Baby guy? Oh! What was your old full username? City. Alright, so this is another section that we're gonna focus on called when to use the root test, ratio test, root test, Ratio test and Cauchy Handman Cauchy Hadamard formula. Cauchy Hadamard formula. Just chips for now. He got an eye booger, bro. Hello reply. Yo, Shahbaz Hussein. Welcome. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Say your salams, bro. You're Muslim. But then again, you didn't know I was Muslim, so that's not your fault. But next time you come to the stream, say your salams. Where you from? I'm from India. Awesome. We love Indian Muslims, bro, because they're really, Indian Muslims are really oppressed. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for the Indian Muslims to practice their deen, InshaAllah. So, I'm from California, so yeah, so it's 3 p.m. Choose and apply an appropriate Cauchy. So, this is problems 1.10.2, 1.10.4, 1.10.7. So we're gonna do 3 problems. 1.10.2. Yuki, no, why? Yuki, no, don't go, Yuki, don't go. Go back to your seat, please. He doesn't like me talking. These cats, bro. Like, what cat is gonna stay on the live stream? They don't want to stay no more. I'm in class 11 standard. Can you speak slow? I don't understand. Sorry. Hi, yo, Thunder97. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Which thing you study? Hello, reply fast. I'm studying math, bro. I can't reply fast if I'm a little busy, but sorry for late replies. So, I did do homework 4 before. Homework 5. This is homework 7. Where is it? It's gone, bro. It's fine. It's fine. I just have to find the documents again. Man, I have 3 assignments due at midnight. Are you kidding me? One point 10.2. Alright, so use the ratio test to determine the radiance convergence of the complex power series and determine the largest open disk in which it defines an analytic function if such a disk exists. Yo, Shahbaz is mad. Reply me. What do you say even? Here in India, time is 3:32. Dang, it's late for you. You should go to sleep. Dude, she busy. Yeah. David Bjorn. I'm gonna make you mod in case Shahbaz acts weird, alright? If you're okay with that. Is you using Instagram? Not right now. I'm studying. So 2 plus 3, 4, 3 times I, u minus 4, minus 4 over 7 times 3 squared, z minus 4 squared, minus 5 over 10, 3 cubed I, z minus 4 cubed plus dot dot dot. Plus minus minus plus. Determine the largest open disk. Okay, use the ratio test to determine the radiance of convergence of the complex power series. Alright, so how to solve this power series centered at z naught. So you gotta remember what the radiance, not the ratio test looks like. So step number 1 is to look at the ratio test. So that's c of n plus 1 all over c of n in absolute values. Basically, what you want to do is replace the n with n plus 1. And I hope I don't have to determine the formula for myself, even though it should be easy to do that. I'm not the best at doing that though. So you have determine the formula. It should be like summation like that. Two n plus 2 over 3n plus 1 3I to the n z minus 4 to the n. You study calculus, you know, MIT, please speak with me 5 minutes. Bro, my writing is so beautiful than you. Okay, I get it. But what do you want to say? Like, what is it that you want to say so bad? Finally, you said your salam wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ramadan just ended. Don't do anything sus, alright? So, what we want to do is change the n to the n plus 1. Put that in the numerator of our fraction. But since it's already a fraction, then we just want to multiply it by the reciprocal of what this is already. But like with our first fraction, we just want to replace the n with n plus 1. So that's pretty simple for me, honestly. So if we want to do that, we have n plus 1 plus 2, right? And then z minus 4 to the n plus 1 all over 3n plus 1. My professor calls it miraculous cancellations or mathemagic, because it's so satisfying to see it all go down. So yeah, that's what we want to do. So ratio test, I think, is my favorite. So we have n, no, that's 3n, because we're doing the reciprocal, right? We have 3n plus 1, 3I to the n power all over n plus 2, z minus 4 to the n power, right? So here's the thing. This becomes n plus 3 here. That's not a z, that's a 2. This is z because it's a cross in a second. So this cancels out because we have plus 1 here, right? This becomes, not that one, sorry, this one. But we still have 3n here, so that cancels out. with this. So it's just left with 3, 1 here. And this cancels out, and then we're left with just z minus 4 up here, and then 3 plus n plus 3 up here, and then n plus 2 over here. So that equals to n plus 3 over 3i times n plus 2. So we have 3in and then plus 6i down there. And then the z minus 4, I almost forgot that. Z minus 4 up here. I think I should foil that. I don't know though. Let's check. Why did I get something so different than what it's supposed to be? Country name, I don't know, flag. I'm from Philippines. Awesome. Are you Muslim? Yes, I'm Muslim. But you don't need my contacts, bro. This is my whole social. Like, DMing the opposite gender is haram, so it doesn't matter. You don't need anyone's contacts. But the live stream is good enough to, you know, want to make you friend. Nah, bro, it's haram. Just use this as a tool to help you study if you need to someone to keep you accountable. This is a serious YouTube channel. I'm 16 years old, bruh. You do have any exams coming up? Should focus on that. This is really bad. Only added one up here, but I forgot about this part. See, this is the tricky part. It's supposed to add one here as well. So it's 3n plus 1 plus 1, like that. See, that's what changed everything. Yo, Christopher. Wait, I mean, Catherine, welcome back to the stream. How's it going? Yo, Jessica Scott. Hello, welcome back to the stream. Have you been since the last time? I'm a girl? Yeah. People get confused because you're using your dad's account. We gotta do this all over again because I forgot to replace one n with n plus 1. So that was really bad. But it's the small things that give you the biggest minus points. I like to give partial credit though. Alright, so let's try this again. We have n plus 1 plus 2 up here. Let's put parentheses just so that we know what we're replacing with. Then we have z minus 4 to the n plus 1 up there. And then bottom will be 3n plus 1 times 3i to the n plus 1. Alright, and then we multiply it by the reciprocal of what was given. We have 3n plus 1 up here, and down there. and then 3I to the n here, n plus 2 here, z minus 4 to the nth power here. So to simplify it, we have n plus 3 here. This becomes 3n plus 3 plus 1, which becomes 3n plus 4 here. Right? So is there anything to cancel out? It doesn't seem like it. So I did not do the reciprocal. Oh my god. But yeah, let's just write it more neatly over here. So it's simplified with 3 plus n here. I mean n plus 3 here. Z minus 4n plus 1 up here. And then 3n plus 4 here. Times 3I to the n plus 1 here. And then we'll multiply it by the reciprocal of what was given. 3n plus 1 times 3I to the n plus 2, and then z minus 4 to the n. That took forever. Now we could cancel things out, but at least. So this exponent goes away, that goes away. This exponent goes away, that goes away. And then we're left with that and that. And that too. That'd be nice if something else could get cancelled out, but I don't think anything else will. So, yeah, let's FOIL it now. N plus 3 z minus 4. Do I have to do the whole thing? For some reason, they're not putting in the z minus 4 in there. They're just using the ratio test on the ratio itself, ignoring the z minus 4 to the n power. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT why they do that. Dre, can you speak 2 minutes, please? Yo, what's up? Phantom missed you. Oh my gosh, Anna! Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. Welcome back. I missed you too. Oh my gosh, I miss having like a not so busy schedule. I mean, I was busy since before. I just wasn't really paying attention to how busy I should have been. That's why I felt guilty, bro. I was like, I'm not giving my real life, the importance that it requires. But yeah, how have you been, Anna? When is your school vacation? Alright, so after Friday afternoon, I'm done. Like, not forever, obviously. It's like, it's spring break, but I probably still have to study. Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuhu. Come back. I wish, bro. But I have a lot of things to do. I can't. And also, like, I felt guilty for other reasons, Anna, because, I don't know if I could get into details because this is a public stream, but that place, that area, as much as I love it so much, I have like history with some people, and like, even if the history doesn't have to do with that server itself, there's some people who have beef with me from like Instagram or WhatsApp, and they're just there, and like they don't, like, every time I see Umaru, for example, because she blocked me, right? It's like, dang it, why do I have to feel bad about this? Because it happened so long ago, but people won't let it go. And like, I feel bad. I'm like, you know what? I can't do this. I gotta leave. I think next time I'll come back is probably next Ramadan. Understand? Aw, I feel bad. Like, I don't want to leave. I swear, it just feels really bad sometimes. WhatsApp student, Eid Mubarak. Eid Mubarak to you too, Hassan's family. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. Aw, Anna. So sweet. You're the whole reason, like, that place is so wholesome. Hello? Can you speak 2 minutes? I'm literally speaking, bro. Shahbaz. With me, please. Like, what did you say? I use pen? Yeah, but if you use pen, like, you're just gonna scribble the whole page. Like, imagine how much I used the eraser just now. So, mm, yeah, the confusing part for me is why they don't add this to the ratio test. But I'm not gonna ask questions, bro. If we don't gotta do that, we don't gotta do that. No, but it has an end value. Like, I gotta ask. I'll make a new chat and then ask for the ratio test. Why didn't add z minus 4 to the n power? Why didn't they put z minus 4 to the n power for the ratio test in 1.10.2? Eid Mubarak. Eid Mubarak to you, to our Muslim sister. Chuslim? Hello, Shreyan Pathak. Welcome back to the stream. Where are you from? I'm from California. What are you studying? Differentiation? Well, just how to prove it for principal logarithm, but this is complex variables. We're doing the ratio test right now. But that is similar from calculus 2. I'm from India here. Love from India. Dang, that's a lot of flags. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for the support. I have a lot of Indian viewers, to be honest. It's pretty nice. When you apply the ratio test, you should look at z minus 4 separately. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. So we're gonna look at it, but afterwards. So now we could FOIL it in P. So we don't need to add extra variables like z now. So n times 3n, 3n squared, plus n, plus 9n, plus 4, or plus 3. And then bottom we have 6in. Three n plus I. So the I goes away for some reason. That's weird. Where did I go? Oh, so the absolute value takes away the I because I is a negative 1. Negative root negative 1. So absolute value of I is just 1. Okay. That makes sense. So we have, it's called 9n down here, plus 12. And then we multiply that by n plus 2, right? So we have 9n squared plus 18n plus 12n plus 24. I hope that's right. And then everything just cancels out. That becomes 3. Actually, no, we could just factor. Or that becomes 1/3. And rho is equal to the reciprocal of 1/3, which is just 3. So after we get that, the largest open disk has to be, and rho is the center, right? But we gotta remember the z minus 4, right? So we get 1/3 from the limit, right? This is the limit. Then we multiply it by the absolute value z minus 4 here. And then multiply it. But it's less than 1. That's the condition, because why is it less than 1? I don't know. Because it's the ratio test. Come on now. But we don't need to do this whole ratio testing. We just gotta make sure that this part z minus 4 is indicating that the radius is less than 4. So with that being the case, then we know that it's a disk with a radius of 4 centered at 3, because that's the phi value, the rho. So that's what we get. That's what the ratio test is good for. That's the largest open disk on which the power series defies an analytic function. Does that make sense, guys? Hello. Hi, Shahbaz. You're still here. Gotta go bye. Okay, but bye. Sorry, I said die. Bye, David Bjorn. See you later, InshaAllah. And Steve Halstead, oh my gosh, welcome back. Wait, Michaela? Or Holly? Yeah, Holly. Welcome back to the stream, Holly. How's it going? How have you been? Which sums you solving? You probably left by now, Mel, but I was solving for the ratio, or actually the root test. No, the ratio test. My bad. But that's only one problem, okay? This right here. We were solving for that. Good. I'm good? Awesome. Okay. So we're done one question. We gotta do 2 more. How many concepts do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 concepts to cover. 9 skills to practice. Kosh? That's crazy. So we're done with concept 1, say skill 1. We have 9 skills to cover. Are you kidding me? They're not too bad though, I feel like. My big back is eating some chips. Awesome. What kind of chips? So we're 1/3 of the way done with this concept here. The root test. Now, actually no, this is the ratio test. Now we're gonna go over the root test, right? So the next problem is 1.10.4. Use the Cauchy-Hadamard formula. Okay, so CHF. Find the radius of convergence of the power series at the largest open disk, or which defines an analytic function. How do you know when to use a Cauchy-Hadamard formula, though? They're probably gonna ask you. Sour cream and onion. Where's your cats? I know, my freaking cats. Let me bring them. There you go. But yeah, sour cream and onion, that's an elite flavor of chips. I never used to like barbecue chips, but honestly it's grown on to me over the years. So we have the power series C sub n Z for the power of n. It gives us 0 plus 2z, my bad, 2z, plus 0z squared, plus 4z cubed, plus 0z4, plus 6z5, plus 0, 7, plus dot dot dot. Okay, so that's our given power series. So this formula, we have to remember, it looks like this. The absolute value, C sub n, to the 1 over n power. But it's the limit like superior.
Sure.
Yeah.
350.
Okay, so I got 16 minutes left for the stream until I gotta go. Assalamu alaikum. Oh my gosh! Kai, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi. Welcome back to the stream. I said I will be back in 20 minutes, but then I probably ended up doom scrolling a little longer than I expected. But yeah. Konnichiwa, yo, user and Hina Harmain. Are you in Pakistan? No, I'm not. I'm in California. Greetings. Wa alaikum salam. Yo, welcome back to the stream, guys. How's it going? Konnichiwa. Annyeonghaseyo. Isn't that Korean? Okay. But yeah, what are you doing up so late, guys? Like, the people from Pakistan, all y'all, it's 3:35 a.m. for you guys. I'm very familiar with Pakistan time now. It's crazy, because before I started streaming, I didn't know what time it'd be in Pakistan. But now, I know it's 12 hours different from here. Alright, this does not make sense. I'm gonna ask, can you go over 1.10.4? It's crazy though, because I did this stuff before. It's like I'm doing it for the first time all over again. Okay, so if we're gonna focus on the non-zero coefficients, then we gotta understand that n here, the power, is an odd number. So it becomes 2k plus 1. That's our odd number here. And then if that's the case, then we have c sub n becoming into c of 2k plus 1 to 1 over 2k plus 1. And then if we take the limit of that, what does it look like? This Cauchy-Hadamard formula is so crazy. I hope this is not on the exam. My name is Kai, by the way. Yeah. Oh, my chips ended. I'm so sorry. You have my deepest condolences, Steve Halstead. Before can Pakistan stop America versus Iran war? Of course not. They have their own thing to fight. You know, they're having a war with Afghanistan for some reason, and I don't know why. Still sick? Oh no, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you shifa. I got sick and went to sleep at 4 p.m. and I woke up at 11 p.m. Dang! So how long is that? 9 hours? Or 8 hours? 7 hours. That's good though. You get your sleep in. It makes you feel better. I don't know if we can stop war because America and Iran, but we should stop war against Afghanistan. Yeah, for sure. That's what I was thinking as well. What's 12 plus 9? 21? Why is that 21? Isn't it 9 plus 10 equals 21? I'm so... Having flu sucks. Yeah, for real. I just got recovered by one. So... basically, for the Cauchy-Hadamard formula, what we're supposed to do is replace n by formula with the highest powers, right? The ones that are non-zero. I'm gonna put that back in the formula right here, and Yuki doesn't want to be supportive. Only problem is, I don't know where the 1 plus 1 goes. Why did 2k plus 1 become just 2k? Because the plus 1 doesn't matter. They don't change the limit. So you could just ignore the 1. That's so confusing, bro. So evaluate 2k to the 1 over 2k plus 1 power. So you have 2k to the 1 over infinity, basically, because k could be any limit, right? So that's basically 1 over 0 equaling to the 0 power, which would just give you 2k. Or an exponent 0 gives you like 1. So the limit is 1. So c equals 1. So we have disk centered at 0 with the radius 1. That's our answer. Doesn't make sense, but it's okay. You're probably not going to test us on that. It's too hard. If they do, I hope it's like this. Yuki wants to leave. Are you kidding me? I'm so hungry. I didn't eat lunch or dinner. Why? Oh, because you were sick. You were sleeping. Okay. You should go downstairs, look in the fridge. Hopefully you find something to eat. There's always some leftovers. Did you know if you stare at a wall enough, it'll continue being a wall? You know what? Actually, I need to stare at a wall sometimes. Because if you stare at a wall, your dopamine levels reset. So then you're able to focus so much more. That's actually a study method. If you look at a wall for 10 minutes straight, you're not going to be, all over the place thinking of different things. You're going to be able to focus a lot more. I feel totally alone. Actually lonely, man. Why? What happened? What's wrong? Okay, fine. Even I'm tapping slow for real. Don't feel lonely, man. We're just get studying. That's the solution. I have 8 minutes until I gotta go. Ugh. I don't wanna go. I wanna study forever and ever. I'm kidding. But studying really does get rid of the anxiety of the exams. I've only gone through one concept. I have 9 more. Or 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more concepts. So we did the ratio test, the Cauchy-Handman formula. Now we gotta do the root test. So we have f of z equals 0 plus z plus 0 z squared minus 1 over 3 z cubed plus 0 z 4 1 over 5. Oh, these are all factorials. Okay. Plus 0 z to the 6th minus 1 over 7 factorial z to the 7th plus dot dot dot. So it's plus plus minus plus 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 minus. No, plus plus minus. Yeah, okay, that's good. They're saying c sub n equals to negative 1 to the n minus 1 over 2 power. Okay, Yuki! Why don't you just... Go to your spot. My sister always threatens me if I'm being rude to Yuki, I'm gonna fail everything that I'm studying for or busy with. So that scares me. The end is on. So I'm in the area where rotten mind people live, so it's common, man. What is common? Inshallah, it go well. Which exam is it? It's the complex variables exam. MashaAllah, Kai. Best of luck. Ameen. I'm gonna go get something to eat. Alright. I hope you find something yummy. Well, what is common? Oh my gosh, Yuki. What is wrong with these cats, bro? I swear. Being lonely? Oh, honestly, that's good though. Don't you know, like, have you heard? Not don't you know? I mean, sorry. Like, I meant to say, like, have you heard of the quote by Umar al-Khattab radiallahu anhu that it's better to be alone than with bad people. It's better to be with good people than to be alone. So you're in that position where you don't have any good environment around you. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you for, protecting yourself from staying away from such bad people, because everyone here is like that. I hope you do find some good people around you though. If not, then online spaces are the place for you, since online you get to choose your surroundings. It's not just, you know, physical physically close people. Because sometimes the best people around you are like at least 100 miles away. So I got 4 minutes. I don't think I could go through all of this. But let's just say do 10 point. Ratio test? I thought we were supposed to do the root test. Oh wow. Really? Anyways, it's good practice though. So this is C sub n. That's scary. We gotta do C sub n plus 1 now. C sub n plus 1 equals negative 1 to the root n minus n plus 1 minus but too lazy to get up. No. Yeah, Chris, I always wondered to have a kitten or a hamster. Yeah, maybe you'll feel happier. But my mom always says self before service, man. Dang. Yeah, parents can be the one thing that stops you from changing your whole life. Cause I would have, taken in a cat if I could. But as soon as it died, my mom was like, "No, you should have convinced me," blaming it on me. Like, that's not me. I did try. This is so hard, guys. Taking the root test of this series, right? So we have we're just gonna have to find the pattern. It's so hard to find the pattern though. Like if they gave me the pattern, that'd be easy to do the root test. But you have to find the pattern as well. That's impossible for me. Just 2n plus 1 factorial. That's what this is. Ignore the signs, they don't matter for convergence. So the signs don't matter, right? But 1 over 2n plus 1 factorial. Wow, that's genius. Because factorials, they end at 0 factorial. But if you want to increase it, it's 2n plus 1. Just keep adding 1 to the factorial and make sure there's a 2 there so that it's an odd number. Because 1 over an odd number. So that's how you get that pattern for C sub n. So then Cn plus 1 becomes 1 over 2n plus 1 plus 1 factorial, which equals 1 over 2n plus 2 plus 1 is 3 factorial. And then C sub n flipped is 2n plus 1 factorial over 1. And then you have 2n plus 1 over 2n plus 3. But somehow it cancels out. To 1 on the denominator. I mean, numerator. And then you have 2n plus 3 and 2n plus 2 here. So taking the limit where n goes to infinity, you get 1 over a big number, which gives you 0 basically. So the limit is 0. That means phi is infinity. So that means the disk is, radius of convergence is infinity. So it's not a disk anymore. It surpasses that. Function is the entire. That's really hard to remember right there. Is that chemistry? No, it's math. Sorry, I was not looking at the chat that long. But yeah, it's now 3:53. I gotta go. I have to help my sister with something in 7 minutes. I always hate chemistry, forgot equations, or stuck in equations. Oh yeah, stoichiometry, but this is the equation part. It's math that you don't like. Chemistry is a lot more than math. So yeah, I feel like you don't like math more. Anyways, thank you so much for staying on the stream, user, and I hope you get a pet eventually or something. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, which will be later today, inshallah. I have no choice but to study all the skills. Alright, I have like so many other things to cover. But yeah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Have a good rest of your day, and I hope Kai get better.